Hello everyone, my name is Shravika kandukuri and today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic that connects language, emotions and technology which is sentiment analysis. So we live in a world where people express their opinions online every single day through tweets, product reviews, blogs, posts and social media comments. So sentiment analysis helps us to understand what those opinions means emotionally. Are people happy, sad, frustrated, or satisfied? That's what we will explore today. So, what is sentiment analysis? So, in simple words, it's a process where a computer program reads and analyzes text to find about an emotion or tone behind it. So, it is also called opinion mining because it helps companies and researchers mine or extract opinions from things people say or write. For example, I absolutely love this phone. That is clearly a positive. The service was horrible and slow, which is a negative. It's okay, not too bad. That's usually a neutral. So, this technique is a part of something called natural language processing or NLP, which allows computers to understand and respond to human language in a meaningful way. So why is sentiment analysis is important? So now let's talk about why this technology matters in the real world. So there is so much text being shared online every second. Companies can't read and analyze each message manually. So it would take years. That's where sentiment analysis come into the picture. So it mainly helps companies understand what customers think about their products and services, monitor their reputation in the market, whether people are speaking positively or negatively about their product or a brand. So discovering problems early, for example, it if hundreds of people complain about a feature, the company can quickly fix it. So it also improves their product by analyzing real feedback instead of guessing. So it can also be used to understand trends, measure satisfaction, and even handle customer service better. It turns raw opinion into actionable insights. So, why marketers care about sentiment analysis? So, marketing is one of the biggest areas where sentiment analysis is used today. Think about this when people are deciding what to buy, they often look at reviews, comments, and social media posts. In fact, a study in 2025 by Sprott Social found that 74% of consumers used social media to guide their purchases. That's why marketers pay close attention to what people are saying, not just the words but the tone and emotion behind them. Sentiment analysis helps marketers So, sentiment analysis helps marketers measure the success of advertising campaigns, track public opinion about their brand, and understand how people feel after seeing an ad or using a product. And also, it also helps in analyzing, comparing their performance against competitors. It allows them to take smart, data driven decisions instead of working on guesswork. So let's talk about the sentiment analysis process. So how does sentiment analysis actually work? Let's break it down into further steps. First step is data collection. First, the program gathers text data from sources like Twitter, online reviews, surveys, blog posts, or new articles. Next comes to data cleaning. Then it cleans the text, removing relevant words, symbols, or links. It, it might also fix spelling errors or remove duplicate entries as well. So next process comes into a text analysis. So it cleans up the data and then analyzed using tools, algorithms, or AI models. So these programs look at the words and their combination to understand the sentiment. Next, finally, the classification will come into the picture. So what does this classification does is the program classifies each piece of text as either positive or negative or neutral. So some advanced models even go further and tag emotions like joy, anger, fear, or surprise. So this entire process can be done in a real time and at a very large scale. So much faster than humans could ever do manually. Let's now talk about the sentiment classification techniques and challenges. So while sentiment analysis is a powerful tool, it does come with challenges. So it's not only easy to teach a machine to understand human emotions. Here are some of the main issues and challenges which can be faced in sentiment analysis. So one is sarcasm and irony detection, which is people often say the opposite of what they mean. For an example, oh, that's great, my flight just got delayed again. It sounds positive, but it clearly says it's negative statement. Machines struggle to detect this. So, ambiguity, let's talk about this. Some words can mean different things based on context. For instance, the word cold could describe weather or a personality. Let's now talk about slang and mixed languages, which is on social media, people often use informal language or mix two language in one sentence. So this also makes it hard for traditional models to interpret, right? So let's now talk about domain specific words, which is a different industries have their own terms, right? So in gaming, calling something like a killer move is positive, but in healthcare the word killer can be alarm. So that's why researchers and developers are always working to make sentiment analysis tools are more accurate and sensitive to context. So now let's talk about the case study. Here you can see two case studies. One is Starbucks campaign optimization, the other one is political sentiment analysis. Let's discuss one by one. Let's look at how this works in real life. In 2020-24, Starbucks launched a campaign for their summer refreshers drink. So they wanted to know how people felt about the new products. So they analyzed over 10,000 tweets using tools like Brandwatch and TextBob. So these tools helped them scan what people were saying on Twitter. So what did they find? A lot of customers were saying that the drinks were too sweet. So Starbucks took this feedback seriously. They adjusted the receipt to reduce the sweetness. As a result, sales increased by 12%. So just by listening to what people were saying online, that's how powerful sentiment analysis can be when used effectively. Now, let's talk about the political sentiment case study 2. Another great example is from also at 2020-24 US elections. So political campaigns used sentiment analysis to track voter opinions on Reddit. After each debate or major political event, they analyzed thousands of comments to see how people reacted. So what they liked, what they didn't like, and how their mood shifted. So they found that voter sentiment would spike after certain movements, like a good performance in a debate. Campaign teams used this information to adjust their messages, speeches, and even social media posts. So this process it helped them to stay connected to what votes really cared about, not just what they said, but how they felt. So, to summarize, sentiment analysis is a powerful and growing field that blends language, emotion, and technology. It helps businesses, governments, and marketers understand what people are feeling in real time. So, just by analyzing written text. So, it obviously saves time, improves products, and allows companies to respond faster to public feedback. So, even small businesses can start using sentiment analysis with free or low cost tools. So as the technology improves, this field will continue to become more accurate and more valuable. Thank you. That brings us to the end of my presentation. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope this gave you a clear understanding of what sentiment analysis is and how it works and how it's being used in real life. Thanks again.